let's dive into Hellraiser. This is a 1987 horror film written and directed by Clive Barker, based on his own novella, The Hellbound Heart. The movie is known for its dark, atmospheric tone and its unique take on horror, blending the supernatural with deeply psychological elements. The plot centers around a couple, Larry and Julia Cotton, who move into an old, eerie house. Inside, they discover a mysterious puzzle box known as the Lament Configuration. This box is more than it seems. When solved, it opens a gateway to another realm, summoning the Cenobites, a group of sadistic supernatural beings who inflict unimaginable pain and pleasure. They're led by Pinhead, the most iconic Cenobite, known for his grid of nails in his head. Now, the movie doesn't just focus on the Cenobites. The central narrative revolves around Larry's wife, Julia, and her complicated past. Before Larry, Julia had an affair with his brother, Frank, who had been experimenting with the puzzle box and opened the gateway to the Cenobites. And even there, when Frank is torn apart by the Cenobites, he somehow manages to escape the realm, only to return as a fleshless, monstrous figure. Julia, still obsessed with Frank, helps him regain his human form by bringing him fresh victims, all while trying to keep her husband Larry in the dark. The characters are quite complex, especially Julia. She's not your typical villain. Her motivations are tangled with desire, guilt, and the longing for something darker. Frank is equally compelling, as his lust for forbidden pleasures leads him into a situation where he's unable to escape the horrors he's unleashed. A big theme in Hellraiser is the idea of desire and consequence. The film explores the human inclination to seek out forbidden pleasures, only to find that these desires come with horrific repercussions. The Cenobites themselves aren't portrayed simply as monsters. They represent a twisted interpretation of pleasure and pain, and in their realm, there's no clear line between the two. The movie is also about the boundaries of human experience. How far are we willing to go in pursuit of our desires, and what happens when those boundaries are crossed? The Cenobites, led by Pinhead, embody this theme perfectly. They are not evil for the sake of evil. They're beings that exist to enforce a grim kind of balance between pleasure and suffering. As for the sequels, Hellraiser quickly became a franchise. While the original stands as a unique, disturbing film, the sequels explore different facets of the mythology. There are a total of 9 official Hellraiser films, though not all of them are universally loved. The first 2 sequels, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, 1988, and Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, 1992, are often regarded as solid extensions of the original story, expanding the lore and deepening the mystery of the Cenobites. However, as the series continued, many of the later films, like Hellraiser, Bloodline, 1996, and beyond, became more about gore and less about the philosophical themes of the first movie. In a way, the Hellraiser franchise is a bit like the Lament Configuration itself. At first, it's a mysterious and enticing puzzle, but the deeper you go, the more difficult it is to escape from the horrors it reveals. That's what makes the first film so iconic. It presents a blend of horror, philosophy, and complex characters that stands apart from many other slasher or supernatural films. So, to wrap it up, Hellraiser is a unique horror movie that explores the intersection of desire, pain, and punishment, using the haunting figure of Pinhead and his Cenobites to deliver an unforgettable experience. It's a thought-provoking film that has left a lasting impact on the genre, with its sequels continuing to explore its dark and twisted world.